So let's go through an example. Actually, we have already done a lot of object creation. So I'm not going to go through details on how to create each statement and each method. Instead, I'm going to go through how to review the question requirement. So here we have a class circle, which has a field radius. How do we translate this into requirements? First of all, let me just put everything into pseudocode. The circle class should have a class level field called pi, constant. Circle class should have get area method. And here's a note. So first of all, let's look at the fields. What fields do we have? It has a field radius, right? Which means it's a private. We should have a private double radius. Also here is another field, class level. What does class level mean? It's not instance level. So it is actually static. Double pi. Okay, so here there are two questions. First of all, is that a public or private? In general, we said in general fields should be private. However, for pi, it's actually different because this one is a non-constant, right? You can write 100-digit decimal places if you want, but this is a constant, which means it's a final. Because it's final, external variable, external object will not be able to change that. So in this case, we can make it a public. One, it is a constant. Two, because external objects cannot change it. It can be public. Because you are not going to set a new pi, not in this universe, right? 3, so apparently you won't have, because it's a public, you won't have a getter or setter. 3, naming. For constant, we usually call it pi, all uppercase. And because this comes eventually when you reference that, you will just use a circle.pi. There should be no confusion on this naming. If you have other more domain specific the namings fields, usually it's better to have a longer name like color, constant, pi. Of course, in here, because there's this is pi is such a known fact, it's a known domain knowledge for all, so we don't need to write that much. So here, let's move this up as it's a static. Let's move it up to the top, and then followed by a private field. It says the radius field should have appropriate accessor and a mutator. So we should have a public void set radius method. And we should have a public double get radius method. Now, let's talk about the constructor. If the circle instance is created without parameter, that means there will be a public circle constructor without a parameter. This is a no arg implicit constructor. Then there's otherwise means the circle instance is created with a parameter. So there's another public circle double R. Now, this circle class should have a get area method and the get parameter method. So we are going to have a get area public double. The area, of course, will be a double, and the public double parameter, same thing. And let's move this up. So this is how you go through the requirements to get fields, to get and to make sure what the setters and getters are, and the constructors. And usually we move constructors as the first field method. So it will be fields, static first, followed by regular instance fields, then constructors, accessors and mutators, business logics. And if you have static method, usually I will put the static method in the end, but a different company or different organization may have their own rules. All right, so let me quickly create this class. And since we already done this many times, I'm not going to go through details. Just quickly do some typing. And then I'm going to copy all this inside. There will be a lot of errors. We have the pi automatically created, radius created. Why is there an error? Because you need to complete the class body. Oh, because I don't have classes later on. So radius equals to 1.0. As discussed before, radius equals to R. Set radius. Oh, I forgot to put a double R here. But then I'm going to copy this over. And then get radius. Get area. Should be return. And the pi should be all uppercase. And the pi is a static pi is a static field. So once we add information here, it will give us appropriate color coding for the code. Again, this should be pi, up or uppercase, return. Oh, radius, lowercase. So everything works and it looks so simple. Now let's look at a follow-up question. Create a subclass of circle class, colored circle, by implementing the colored shape interface we created prior. I believe we created here, not here, session 7. I'm a little confused. I think it's assignment 7. Colored shape and shape color. So we will need to introduce these two. One is the interface, one is a new enumeration type. It should have a field color of enumeration shape color. So this part tests your ability to import from a different package. Or if you happen to write this all in the same package, you are lucky. You don't need to write the import, but then you still need to be aware of the need to import if they exist in different packages. So circle color, colored circle should have 2 constructors. Let's again put this as pseudocode by implementing. It should have a field. So this is the field definition. Now colored circle should have 2 constructors. 1, this is 1, we'll take 1 parameter radius and set color to default. Another will take 2 parameters, radius and color. So these are 2 constructors. And now it should have a get parameter method, which will perform. So this is the overriding of the get parameter method, which means if color is green, then we shrink the parameter. We are timing 0.5. But if it's red or blue, then we will double the actual parameter. So let's create a colored circle. I'm going to create the colored circle class in our session. And then I'm going to copy all these inside first. And I think I will just copy these 2 here, these 2 lines here. And because this is inside a Java doc, I do not need the line command. Okay, so you should have a field. First of all, we need to implement. Implements, sorry. Color shape. And now we have an issue because this is not imported. So quick fix, import from assignment 7. Then in addition, we also need to import, later on we will need to import this shape color enumeration. But then we can do it automatically here. Shape, color, color. Now we have this error, says cannot resolve the type. It should say cannot be resolved to type, so we import it. Now we have both imported. Let's go through with 2 constructors. The first constructor, don't forget to type in public colored circle, which has only 1 parameter. Double R, which set super R. You need to set the radius as R. There's an issue. What's the reason? Constructor is defined. Oh, I forgot to extend. I forgot to inherit. Inherit from circle. And again, what's the issue? Did I make any issues here? Oh, I put this into test 2. I'm sorry. So let me change this to test 2 package. And once I change this package to test 2 in the Java code, my class is still inside session 8. There is an issue. So that's why Eclipse will ask me, when I click on the red cross, it asks me to fix that by move this Java to package. Of course, this is what I want to do. So let me do it. And right now you can see it is in this test2 package. So now I'm extending circle, and I have, now I am, so it says I must implement inherit this abstract method from the color shape interface, where I will do later. Actually, that was supposed to be a trick. I plan to implement all the methods, and then there's this issue, and then I will ask you guys to check why there's an issue, and you guys should be able to come up with an abstract method. But the Eclipse is too smart and actually help you guys make the trick disappear. So we have a super R, and we will also set color to shape color red. So another, oh, this should be, again, click on here. And import, this time we should use a shape color. So another will take two parameters, radius and color. So I'm going to just simply copy this over. And it will have a shape color C. And this color will be C. Now, again, we have two constructors with the same name and the different signature within same class. What does this called? By this time, you should know the answer. It is overload, right? Now it should have a get parameter method. Public double. And this get parameter comes from the superclass. And we have the same signature, right? Double get parameter without any return type, without any parameter. So what we are doing here is overriding this get parameter method. Now let's do a double P. And if color is red or blue. Let me copy this over. Or I don't need to define this double P. I'll just simply use if color equals to I'll directly return from here. And there will be an issue, which is radius and the pi. Why there's an issue? Because this radius is a private member of circle. So I cannot directly use this radius. I have to use super dot get radius in order to get radius. If color is green, oh, I forgot to have a blue. Or shape equal, color equals to blue. So we'll put else if color equals to green. Then we will return the normal parameter, which is 2 times pi times get radius. Again, here we cannot directly use radius because radius is a member of superclass and we cannot reference it. So then we now have a else. And we will return a regular parameter times 0.5. Okay, so this is the color circle Java. Now, let's go back to the same issue. After we implemented all the method, why do we still have error? And the reason, as we said just now, the color circle class must implement the inherited abstract method, color get color. So I'm going to add it. And now we have this. What do we return? We return the color. All right, so now it looks good.